So yeah, it was like a fast living for me. All my niggas, we came up from right across the road from that Georgetown store with Pat. Pat was one of the smartest ladies that I met in this game. She damn near know every bass and every troll. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Pat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my niggas stayed ahead of this game. Like, some of them fell off because they weren't really paying attention. But the real niggas gonna pay attention to the game. Fuck niggas gonna always fall off because they ain't even focused enough to see what's really going on around them. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, by '01, I'm taking trips. I just graduated out of high school. I'm taking trips. I'm in Antigua swimming with the stingrays. I'm catching fresh catch from the ocean. I'm doing some ridiculous shit that these niggas don't understand. Because I was around some real ass niggas who were getting real ass money. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Cofield, what's happening, homie? Red Lewis, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Back then, it was like, I had ridiculous bread. When I graduated from high school, I had, what, about 48 bands, 48, 49 bands. We over there grinding on Lake Avenue with Pops. What's happening, Pops? R.I.P. to Pops. He was one of the niggas who schooled me in the game, made sure I paid attention to what was going on. And one thing I could always say about Pops, he never, ever, ever told me what to do. He always say, you know what, I'm going to tell you a side of my story. And hopefully you can follow and put what you going through together with my story and you make your own judgment. He never told me what to do. And I respect him every day. I thank him for everything he did for me. He taught me the pimping game. You know what I'm saying? It's music shit. This shit was always my life. I started all in the ENT in '03. I'm living out there in Heathrow. We doing our thing, you know what I'm saying? We got us a little condo spot doing our nice little thing, you know what I'm saying? I was always up on my money. Salute to all the real niggas who were getting money because I stayed on top of my money shit. I slowly learned the whole production side, music side of this game. And I realized, man, that I was so young in the game, it had a lot that I had to learn. So I slowly, gradually learned in the business side of the game too. And I became my own boss, my own artist, you know what I'm saying? And niggas respect me for just what I'm doing or how I'm trying to make this operation operate. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard knock hustle, but I paid attention and I trying to get on top of my hustle, on top of my tasks. '07, we're gonna fast forward it real fast. '07, I moved into the White House. You know, it might have been '06. I moved into the White House, Winter Springs. I started like deciding like, you know, it's time to like put the hustle on the side and to like really push this music. But I had so much people around me that they ain't really understand the type of shit that I was really trying to say and how we gonna push this music. Because we all know that it take money to do any motherfucking thing in the world. And if you don't have that, or if you don't have like a team or even a good motherfucking homie, that's called building a relationship with somebody. If you don't have that, then you ain't gonna move nowhere. You're gonna be on a standstill for the rest of your life. I had a team of niggas around me. I try to put it in their head like, yo, you know, if we all put this money together, we could make anything happen. We could push anything because we got plugs for the radio, we got plugs for anything. But they ain't understand that it take money to make money. People ain't understand that. I was slowly building, learning myself, swagging out my style. I came from a long way of trying to build my style up. Back in that White House, it was a lot of complications. I had so much people around me. Half the time I was never there because I had another condo in Orlando where I'm living a whole nother life. I come back to the house, these niggas got the house looking crazy. These niggas won't even cut the grass. Motherfuckers got chicken bone in the studio. Kind of fuck shit is that? You know what I'm saying? But I respect what was going on and I respect everybody. Them niggas just had to handle their situations as grown men. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how they might have felt about me or regardless, shit, they should have been checking their motherfucking self. You know what I'm saying? Because this game wasn't just about me. It wasn't just about my life. Because I ain't never made it just about my life. I looked out for all my homies. If it was just about my life, I'd have been like, you know what, fuck everybody. Y'all get the fuck from around me. And I'm going to just do me. You know what I'm saying? Who gives a fuck about anybody else? And it wasn't just about that. Because I gave all my niggas who were around me damn near anything I had. They had it all. It ain't my fault they ain't wanted to get no money. It ain't my fault they fucked it all up. Fuck that. I stayed on top of my grind. Up to this day, I see my niggas, a lot of them niggas who I was rocking with in the White House. I respect them up to this day because we growed up together, a lot of them. I understand them up to this day, and they understand where I'm coming from right now. I started making Remy in the Cup, feel good music. I brought in Steve Ivory. I had Richard around me, his brother. You know, me and Richard were doing music on like some other shit, you know. He was a smoker, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a hustler. So a hustling ass with a smoking ass who knows something, what the fuck you think gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put 2 and 2 together. Shit, because what I learned in the game from hustling is that most of these smokers, most of these bases, most of these jugs is very smart, intelligent motherfuckers. They smarter than these motherfuckers out here. You know what I'm saying? But they just got caught up in a bad life and they smoking dope. You know what I'm saying? So I got caught up with Richard, and Richard kind of like showed me a couple of things, but at the same time he was so blind about what the fuck he was doing because he was so into smoking crack that he fucked up a lot of shit for me. He had me tied up with the IRS ridiculous. I didn't even know what the fuck I was going through. You know what I'm saying? I had to call my man Ricola to get me out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm still tied up with them motherfuckers. They came looking for me. The feds come looking for me. I want to know what the fuck going on. My homie calling me, telling me, hey, the feds looking for you. And here's the funny thing about it. They ain't looking for me for what I do. They looking for me for the tax. What kind of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? I live a real street life and they looking for me for tax. I don't even believe that. The streets won't even believe that. That's how real it is. That shit just weird. I ain't never heard no shit like that until I got in this game. You know what I'm saying? I started fucking with Steve Ivory. I brought him in, Steve. Steve schooled me on a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? We went through a lot of arguments, a lot of back and forth, this, that, whatever. But that's still my dog. We started working on Feel Good. Brought him out to the White House, putting on Feel Good, and it was like magic in the making because it like came out so ridiculous. He introduced me to that new music that I had needed to be introduced to. I mean, like that big boy swag, that overall, or even like your ears, like tuning your ears into real music, because I was fucking with so much different producers and so much different people that they had me lost on. Like, okay, this hot. Yeah, it's hot, but you ain't took time out to really perfect your perfection. You know what I'm saying? So that was the fucked up thing about it. When I'm getting these tracks from this nigga and that nigga, they weren't really taking time out to actually mix their track to make sure they give a nigga a quality sound and shit, and not some shit that was been beating in a motherfucking room or something. You know what I'm saying? Like some pots and pans and shit. So he introduced me to that shit. We started working. He was taxing me at first. I put him in the chokehold, you know. He working right now too. We in here working right now. All in the ENC, baby. All in it worldwide. We working right now. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all I do is work 24/7. But we created some good music. We put out Remy in the Cup. We put it out in Savannah. We put it out in Waco. Put it out in Atlanta too. It was doing good numbers. They introduced me to Earl Washington. And Earl, like, he the big radio man. Man, like, he said, Young, I'm going to show you some things. I sit down and I listen to him because I know he an OG in the game, and I always believe in listening to my elders because they can't school me, they can't teach me something. So Earl like showed me some things and he made it happen. Next thing you know, I'm checking BDS and I'm seeing my numbers. Next thing you know, I'm checking my email and everything. You could just tell by the numbers what's going on. Like they said, the numbers don't lie, and that's a real fact because the numbers don't lie. You know, and hey, me and Steve just kept working. I did this show down in Orlando. I'll never forget it. This was like in '08 for Fourth Quarter Entertainment. Boy Bobby, Ricola, and Ace decided, like, you know, I'm gonna put Youngn on this show. You know, they had a lot of A&Rs came in. They had A&Rs from Def Jam. They had I'll never forget, they had Rap A Lot in the building. They had Shady. They had a couple entertainments in the building, you know, and they basically let me do what I want to do. Everybody was there, from Drop to Papa Duck to you name it. Everybody was there. Mercedes Streets, Dog Man. Everybody was there. And basically, I got like this extra VIP pass where I could do whatever the fuck I want to do. I got 2 bottles around me. I'm just sipping, swagging, doing whatever I want to do, you know. And it was like a showcase type where the judges, like, they judging you and they telling you, well, if your music good enough, or, you know, if we could use you on this label or whatever. And, you know, I'm sitting back and I'm swagging and I'm watching all these artists go up on stage and they doing their thing. And after they finish doing their thing, the judge judging them, and the judge like cussing them out like, man, that's whack, man, what the hell, and saying this and saying that. And I'm like, damn, these motherfucking judges are hard on these motherfuckers. Ain't nobody bypass shit. I'm talking about each judge or each different label, each different A&R, like really saying what's good. And I'm like, whoa. So I went up on, they called me up, Young, and you know, all in the ENT, rich boy. You know, they called me up. So, you know, I'm swagging like a motherfucker, because I'm always swagged out. Walked up on stage, grabbed a mic. I walked with me these 2 tracks that my man Steve Ivy produced. You know, Remy in My Cup and Feel Good. And I did that Remy in My Cup, busted out ridiculous. I got the Remy bottles up there with me and my boy Sav up there again, going ham. I'm talking about going ham. Next thing you know, we bust out that Feel Good. We switched up the whole vibe and brought out that Feel Good. Man, I tell you, man, when I was finished with their ass, I'm talking about, they stopped that shit. They all came in the back and they come talk. First they talked to me. They were like, yo, you hot, nigga. Nah, that Remy in My Cup, you know, I thought you were gonna just be the average street nigga, but when you bust out that Feel Good, man, you took it to a whole nother level. They all stopped that shit and came in the back and hollered at me. And that's when I noticed that I need to take this shit to a whole nother level. That I need to, like, concentrate on making this music. Concentrate on creating my buzz and staying on top of my game. That's when I really understand, because I was so into the street life that it was like, every time I say I'm gonna leave the streets, this shit pulled me right back in. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to leave that street money when you're getting real street money. If my real street niggas understand what I'm saying.